The Master this week is brought to you by the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. Statutorily mandated to ensure that there's regulation and promotion of matters affecting our waters. The Master bears responsibility for search and rescue, shipping development, and ship registration.
Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime, showing on this channel.
Hello and welcome to What Are You Saying? #Ways, where we talk about topics in the news as it affects us all. I am Usayome Saleh, and today I'm joined by the amazing ladies in the house. We have Nama, Isi, and Uti Elu. What's up?
We're good.
Who am I starting with? Uti, you're the one going to mainland and coming back every day. How was your day today?
My day was good, actually. This week has been a pleasant surprise because, of course, I was driving to the mainland and back every day, but the traffic wasn't that bad. So everybody tried to explain to me that it'd be against traffic.
Yeah, the timing, yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, even though every time I'm crossing the bridge, my brother. But it was actually really good. I think more important for me was the training. It was about women in leadership, and it was like every day just got better and better and better. So for me, thank you to my employers out there, train your women.
Thumbs up for Uti's employers.
If I mention you now, they will charge you. I can't say anything.
I'm waiting to charge you. How about you, Isi? How was your day?
Long but nice and interesting as well. But
Awesome.
I'm happy that I'm here and we're doing what we're doing.
Awesome.
Basically,
We
short.
thank the Lord.
I do.
No, my fanga, do you want to share?
No, I'm not sure. I'm good. I'm in a good place.
It's
It cannot
okay.
be worse than what I've been through. But
Let me borrow Uti's line on your behalf. Say, thank God we don't look like what we've been through.
Exactly.
Totally.
Yep. Exactly. But it's better than nothing. We're
Yeah.
here and we're talking.
So I had to go see my doctor for my eyes because all these makeup, eye pencil. Doctor said I need to go do tests, for glaucoma. So the thing is with glaucoma, people do not know that, you can sleep, seeing one day, and you wake up the next day, you are blind. So it's very important, and especially if you have like family history. But I don't have any family history, so I'm not worried about anything. But he just saw some things in my eyes. So for women that are using makeup all the time, lining your eyes and all of that, it's always good. I think it would be good for us to always have our eyes checked. Because lately my eye has been really, really irritating.
Also, try to have your products.
Yes, don't
Because
share.
What a lot of people do is that they just allow the makeup artists to just splash on. I advise people that it's better that you have your own foundation, especially like liners, things that go directly to the eyes, have contact like that.
Absolutely. So it's our ladies' night out. What is our conversations for ladies' night? So here's what we found us today, school. We're talking heartbreak today. Sometimes a little heartbreak is a lesson that the best thing to do is just to learn that lesson, right? So we're talking heartbreak today. We found a video of a young girl that trended online telling a boy who broke up with her that she had just had sex with his father. In her words, she said, "If you break my heart, I'll sleep with your father." And she was doing the video right inside the ex-boyfriend's house. All right, so it's our ladies' night out. And Uti, Noma, Isi, and I are asking, if you had a message to tell your younger self on heartbreak, what would that be? And we want to also speak to Gen Zs. How are you handling heartbreak? Because for me, I think some things are not just done. No matter how, somebody does something to you, there are some things that should not be crossed. All right, so when we open our phone lines, we'd really love to hear what you have to say. But first, we'll take a break to see what we found in the news. You're still watching Ways. Now, cotton is one of the most common fabrics in our wardrobes. It is comfortable, hypoallergenic, breathable, and durable. But cotton represents so much more than just a commodity. This natural fabric is a life-changing product worldwide that sustains about 28.67 million growers and benefits over 100 million families across 75 countries in 5 continents. This means that behind any cotton clothing, following back its straight chain, there is a personal story. It is true that cotton is really important to developed economies, but for least developed and developing countries, it is a safety net. Cotton is a major source of livelihood and an income for many rural smallholders and laborers, including women, providing employment and income to some of the poorest rural areas in the world. This first official UN World Cotton Day, the United Nations wants to raise visibility of the cotton sector and awareness of this critical role that it plays in economic development, international trade, and poverty alleviation. This observance also aims to highlight the importance of sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. So happy World Cotton Day, the very first edition.
Awesome.
Many more to come. So
cotton is one of my favorite fabrics. Actually.
Yeah.
Because when you sweat, it absorbs, unlike some of
breathable and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that I like that they're acknowledging cotton. I think it's a waning industry. In fact, it's an industry in Nigeria that's almost gone extinct. So we are basically, it's a $3 trillion global market. Now, if you think about what's happening in oil, we need to start to diversify. We need to start to find other options for us. But right now, we are at about 51,000 metric tons of cotton that we produce, over 250,000 hectares. When we're looking for all these things, and cotton is, like we said, it's globally used across the world. There's just a demand. We need to start to look at more things.
And you know,
like
the funny thing, we are the Ashwebi users. And we have the land for it, so why are we not harnessing? Because, in fact, let me just take my own story. I want to just read because I'm not talking today. So it says 16.3 trillion 2022 budget. Now, this budget, the president, everybody watched the president reading out the budget in National Assembly today. So what caught my attention in the story? It says oil revenue is projected at 3.16 trillion. Non-oil taxes are estimated at 2.13 trillion naira. Federal government dependent revenues are projected to be 1.82 trillion naira. And this budget was benchmarked on oil. oil revenue being 57 at a price of $57 US dollar per barrel. So when you talk about cotton being a big $3 trillion dollar business globally, and we have the land for it. My father-in-law used to be a cotton farmer, right? They had they had a very big farm. You understand? So why are we not tapping into that? Most times, most of our fabrics, we import them, Ankara fabrics, that we have readily available here. So it's actually sad that they're still benchmarking a budget on oil revenue, So this federal government independent revenue so what is that independent? I don't know. Is it agric? Is it what? You know what? I'm not the expert. That's why I said I just want to tell you people.
The experts in here, but
I've left it.
It's easy for the government to support industries like this because the farmers' issues are things that are easily fixable. So low quality seeds being imported. Of course, we know agriculture in general. These farmers struggle with loans, ability to meet all the requirements to get loans. It's really causing the farmers to move away from that product and go and do something else. So when we talk about, agriculture, we all say it, agriculture is the future. Go and plant, go to the farms. You're here though.
You're not doing it.
The support is missing.
All right, Uti, let's take your story now. Come to Isi.
Well, it was meant to be a happy story.
Oh, okay, hold on.
No. Let me just rip off the Band-Aid, but I'm sure all our viewers have seen the results anyway. But, a few hours ago, this was with anticipation. It says World Cup qualifier, Eagles hope to maintain perfect start against CAR. So for me, the, what's it called now? Of course, the Super Eagles were playing today against the Central African Republic, and the unbeaten run in World Cup qualifiers has ended. The result ended with Central African Republic winning 1-0 after our happy wins against Liberia and Cape Verde. I won't call it funny, the sad part of it is that CAR have been on a somewhat, I think they drew 1-1 with Cape Verde, if I remember correctly. But they've also been on a lengthy losing streak. And then it's on our boys.
They used us to compensate themselves.
They used to do press-ups.
They did press-ups, those kind that come from heaven. So sadly...
they'll be all right.
Yeah.
I always say to Super Eagles, don't not underestimate anything. This is why I don't... with football, I'm passionate. So that's why I stopped watching, because they want to give me high BP. How would you underestimate a team? No matter what don't underestimate any team.
Yeah, the only one that's passionate.
Isi, please, let's take your story.
This is what I'm looking at you people. Football. Okay, enjoy.
No, I'm just notifying the nation for anybody who's missed it. Because I can't claim to be passionate about football.
I am totally not passionate about it.
I'm patriotic. Please take your story.
Okay. So in fact, I have left the whole of Nigeria and I moved down to the shores of America to tell my story. And this is from Jamie Lee Curtis, who is an actress in America. And she said that, hold on for this. Plastic surgery is wiping out generations of beauty. To me, I would say yes, because all of these are Instagram mamas and slay mamas. Every minute they come out with all their bodies well shaped and looking very nice. Meanwhile, is it the real thing or is it plastic surgery? And this is like I think was talked about it being the thriving sector currently in the entertainment industry. So
we're supposed to even have a guest.
And let me finish then. And she also stated that the younger people should actually embrace. They should embrace what they are. What they are with their natural beauty, and express worries that modern beauty standards have fallen.
So when she talks about it wiping out the generations of beauty, is she talking about it from the definition of what beauty is? Is that what
she's
she
talking
means?
about it from the definition of the fact that beauty is supposed to transcend beyond, you going to the doctors to have it.
So it's beyond your look, your outer look, skin deep.
It's not beyond your skin. You should embrace your old age. As you grow older, you should embrace the old age. You should look as old as you look.
Oh, so in terms of your own look,
so
in terms of general,
age, people
gotcha.
no longer age. So
Right.
They all look the
everybody's
same.
young, forever
They want
young.
to
Yeah, but just to speak to the media and the beauty industry,
That is
because
what she's saying.
you've
No.
redefined the concept of beauty.
That's what I said that earlier. I'm not finished though.
We don't have time, we have conversation.
Enjoy. Mama, the ball's in your court.
Well, I'm bringing it back to Nigeria.
Yeah.
It's funny that we're talking actors and actresses now, because mine is also concerning an actor in Nigeria who decided to do something out of the normal, right? So the actor Chiwetalu Ago decided to put on the Biafran flag, if I may put it that way, and go out. So let me just share the story. Soldiers in Onitsha, Anambra State, on Wednesday manhandled the Nollywood actor Chiwetalu Ago for wearing an outfit with Biafran inscriptions, right? So the viral video that went up was seen to have Chiwetalu on the road at Upper Iweka Bridge, donning the Biafran outfit and walking near a green bus when two armed soldiers wrestled him to the ground and dragged him away. So it was gathered that he was on the charity mission, right? He probably has this thing that he does annually to give to less privileged people around different things, gifts and all of that. But in the process of doing that, he was donning this grandiose outfit, and they found it very, very concerning that they decided to take him away. Presently, he actually has been arrested.
Wow.
We don't have full details about his arrest, but so far, this is what Chiwetalu Ago has to go through.
All right, on that note, we'll take a break. When we return from the break, we're talking heartbreak. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Welcome to The Breakfast.
A breakfast where we unbundle top and big stories of the day.
Is vaccine the only way out of this pandemic?
No, definitely not.
Many Ghanaians just want a peaceful election and they are hoping there will be no rigging.
There is nothing bad in borrowing for infrastructure. The minister added that he was impressed.
Please come and see yourself what we are doing with the money we are borrowing.
It's very important. The way we brand ourselves is the way people will carry us.
It's just the driver of the two vehicles that were completely burned. This one was here screaming.
What do you recommend the government do to support this sector?
Direct intervention, that's what every government all over the world has done.
We are not a parallel ticketing structure. A multiple core is a complementary core.
What I will not encourage Christians to do is to carry dagger and follow anybody. No.
Join us on The Breakfast, 7 a.m., Monday to Friday.
John, I know your papa house right now. Don't you break my heart. You say you go free like that, papa. I dey on a house right now. See am. See that statue wey dey on a house. I dey your house. I even tie your towel. Your papa sweet. We move.
All right. They say last, everybody go chop breakfast, right? That's the slang that you hear after a heartbreak these days. Why does heartbreak hurt so much? Studies have shown that your brain registers the emotional pain of heartbreak in the same way as physical pain, which is why you might feel like your heart is causing actual physical pain. So is revenge a good bounce back for heartbreak? I mean, if you could counsel your younger self, what message will that be, and how well do our Gen Z understand the subject of love and heartbreak? I mean, this video, I find it very distasteful. but it's something that we must address. Now, please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation, send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. Who am I coming to first?
Uti.
Why is she giving me a straight face? So for me, I think when I saw this video, because it went viral, I was wondering, what is the person saying? You don't know how you see things on Instagram on your Explore page. I didn't put the audio until I started seeing the video everywhere. So, what, let me listen in. Like, first of all, where are we as a people? Heartbreak in those days. Somebody breaks your heart, you just go, you cry. You not listen to. You listen to this music. What do they call this thing? Boys to Men.
No, Sinead O'Connor, all those songs.
Now, Boys to Men, they listen to that time. Those yellow ones, what's their name?
Which yellow ones?
It's not Boys to Men, not the black one. Backstreet Boys. But if I let you, you'll be crying. You'll be crying.
But you get over.
But now, it is actually alarming for me when I see young people on Instagram and the kinds of things I hear them say. Is it that, one, they do not understand the subject of love, or they don't even understand? Because how would you say, because your heart is broken, you now go ahead to sleep with your partner's or your ex-partner's father or maybe brother or something? Does it even make sense?
Does she look heartbroken to you?
She's not. That's what I'm saying.
Look, she don't look heartbroken.
She don't look obviously.
She catching trips.
I think
and
the video is very disturbing is the word for me. I'm actually disturbed that if this is how people interpret, or this generation, and I don't want to generalize here, but if this is the perception of this generation, then it calls for us to really reevaluate our values and what we believe in. Because I don't want to believe that situations are this bad. I'm finding it very difficult to believe that. Heartbreak for one, and that's why researchers have attributed it to literally your heart being ripped out, because it comes with some level of physical pain. So it can be heavy. It's a very strong emotion to go through, right? But being able to now interpret it in such a way as to revenge in this manner, I don't know. I'm actually lost for words right now because it's a lot. When hormones are released, right? When people feel these emotions, it's easy. It's a time for you to process. But I don't think this person has even processed what she has been through, right? For you to go ahead and go to the extent of a father and put it on social, now that's even the part that I can't relate to.
It just goes to show that values have been eroded in this context. Because for you to do this, then also feel good about talking about it, and also doing showing the picture of everything, and saying that the daddy was sweet. I think it is so distasteful to listen to and to watch. The values of that girl should be questioned, and the values of, like Mama said, let's not generalize it, but some people have a problem with, expressing themselves, and this comes from response and reaction. Response could be, okay, this has happened to me, I can go back home and cry and feel good about it, or I cry about it and move on from there. But reaction is now you going out of your way to
do something like a revenge.
To do something like revenge. And once that revenge sets in, that, I will show him pepper, I will show her pepper, that is where you actually
can't even rationalize what you can do.
Now your emotions, at that particular point in time, the emotions are haywire. And that's why they tell you, when, according to research, that you do not react when you're upset, or you do not react when you feel too happy. What you're supposed to do is to take a step back and think about it before, yes, you take a step back and you think about it before you react. Now, she didn't even think. She didn't even process it. She just reacted. at the end of the day, who will be blamed? The father or the girl?
It's not even me. I'm not even looking for to blame. I was going to even say to Issy that you're always arguing that this thing that we say morals have been eroded. These morals have been eroded is even a questionable statement. But let me come to you, Issy.
Yeah. And I love Issy has tried to break it down to some modicum of technicality. Normally I bash Gen Z. I'm sorry, guys. But I don't even think this is a Gen Z problem. The girl, this is just an outlier.
Just about her.
This is an outlier.
Oh.
She was having fun. It's a different thing when you go, oh, I'm so heartbroken, I'm sad, and I'm having a reaction. So when I was listening to what you were saying, I'm thinking, she doesn't even fit that bill of response reaction. She just looks like, how does NASA call it? Anyhowness. And I just want to, do you get what I mean? So for me, I'm like, you have, where I would come, or the angle that I would come from is just the way we've seen degradation in the education sector. This is the degradation in everybody must have children. Nobody's raising children. Because when we talk about values and morals and whatever you want to call it, the issue that I have there is you can't pour from an empty cup. You have to have something to give. And that is the whole concept of parenting. Does this person look like somebody that has sat down to have conversations about life with her mother? Does she seem like that kind of person?
To me, we all have challenges where we've been parented by our parents, correct? But we get to that level where we now decide, okay, what my parents must have taught me was not right, or was not what I wanted to do in the first place. So what do? I retrace my steps.
So you are taking responsibility.
No, you're even coming from the perspective that maybe her parents even taught her something. If you think that it is okay in any guise as a human being to retaliate at a boy for breaking your heart by sleeping with his father, you didn't have values to start off with. You are just existing. You are just meat with legs, breathing air. That's the only way to explain it. Because no matter how offended, I mean, we say it all the time, women, yes, we can be emotional. She's not, so she wasn't, if she was angry in the video, I would even say maybe she wasn't even angry, she was having fun. So this was like, those things that you watch it, it's so crazy, then somebody comes back and tells you, no, it was a skit. Then you go, oh, okay. She wasn't angry in any, this was, when you're retaliating, there's anger that comes through you because you're so angry.
If I may come in there.
Well, how do we even handle heartbreaks?
If I may come in there, people process anger in different ways. For some people, they're able to express their anger. So you see it immediately. They tell you,
like me,
I don't, they're able to
I'm angry, you shall know.
There are others who go quiet when they're angry. So they suppress their emotions. While some others do become irrational in their thinking. So I'm thinking through this video and I'm seeing the possibility of this young lady being in that category of people who, like Issy said, react, they don't respond. Now there's a difference. When you respond to a situation, that means you've processed what the situation is, and then you've found out what is the possible, most likely solution to solve that problem. But for people who react, they act before they think. So I want to see this young girl as probably one of those people. I would agree with you, she's probably an outlier, where something happens and she says, I cannot be the only person who will feel hurt in this thing. I'm going to get back at you. And without even thinking about it, she finds a way to get across and do it in such a way. She probably knows this young man well enough to know what would have hurt him. Right?
Possible.
It's possible. So she goes right for something that he probably would not have imagined that she was going to go that far. She decides to put it up on social media to say, okay, yes, right back at you.
So that means she was irrational enough to be rational.
Because there are people but let me ask a question though. How did you handle heartbreak? Because there's a part of this conversation, a message to your younger self. Because if you understand, I think sometimes people need to understand, if you look in retrospect, there were some things that were not necessary. The other one is necessary. Like it was not necessary at all. Because if you understand right, heartbreak and all of that, you would know that, see, give or take, yeah, it might really hurt at that moment. But you see, when you look back down and I say, thank God, certain things did not even happen. So if you had a message to your younger self, because a lot of young people are watching, right? And I'm wondering, how do you people even process things like this? You know, if you had something to say to your younger self about heartbreak, what would that be?
I think having seen life to the extent that I've lived, I would say that it's not that serious. One. Number two is, I would quote Eleanor Roosevelt when she said that no one has the permission to make you feel less of yourself without you permitting that, without your permission. No one has a right to make you feel less of yourself without your permission. It is how I see myself and how I had to break. I had breaks, but not probably more with the or how do they say it? With not the opposite sex, right? I had friends who broke my heart. Literally, I was heartbroken. But when I was introspected, I decided that, look, friendship is not by force. And that's what I want to tell the Gen Z. Love yourself to the extent that somebody cannot make you feel less of yourself. If they don't like you, there's somebody. There are 2 billion people in this world, for crying out loud. All of them can hate you. So go find the people that appreciate you for who you are. You don't have to change yourself for anybody. And now if you say no, I tell you thank you, and I move on to the person who will love me for who I am and appreciate the value that I bring to the table, because it's not everybody that understands your makeup. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. How about you, Lucy? Okay, go ahead.
You know, like you said, it's not that serious. I know when we're younger.
It's
so let's not start like this. We just came like this.
Sister, I said I go cry.
No, I know that. Do you remember old cassettes? Do you remember cassette tapes?
Oh, sure.
The mixtapes. You will play that mixtape. Mine. You said yours was Backstreet Boys. Maybe older.
Although
Sinead O'Connor.
To the end of the road.
Everything slow and painful. And you know the thing then was that when boys used to toast
so you could go.
Yeah. That's it. Did you ever toast those boys that made you a mixtape? That would make you a mixtape of songs. You played. How could he do this to me? But I mean, wisdom is great. Get older, guys. It gets better. Wisdom is great because now we can sit here and go, oh, it's not that serious. So at that time, it literally felt like you were dying. And the funny thing was that you were younger. So really and truly, it was really not that serious. Like how many people got married to the people they dated back then? Really? Very small percentage. So it was never that serious. But you would, and you know, we didn't have mobile phones then. So you would see your friend, you guys probably sit on the steps of your house or in front of your gate, and you will talk.
Will fall, don't worry. Everything will be all right.
You know, then depending on which part of education you are in, don't worry, when we see him tomorrow, we'll blank him. Like, there used to be all these fun things. But the truth was, you know, the younger you are, I was having this conversation with a friend the other day. I said, I don't think I feel emotions as strongly as I did when I was younger. Then it felt like your whole world, your chest was beating right, your heart was beating right out of your chest. You were, you know, so nervous you couldn't speak because you liked a guy. But now that we're older, we can give some sage advice. I second what Norma said. It's not that serious. But the truth is, you have to be able to process your emotions. It's not
very important.
The rational, like I said, the rational part of you needs to take control, and you need to manage your pain. Depending on how much you like the person, it can be quite traumatic. But you can't have and I know we all have to resist the urge, because today it's not real if it's not on social media. So you feel like I want to document it, then I want to post it, and there's no end of platforms and all the social media in-laws and sisters and cousins, aunties, everybody's waiting to jump on your matter. But we have to remember, like I said, we're moving further away from the point where whatever you post on social media is there for 5 minutes. This is her looking for 5 minutes of fame. Welcome to the Big Brother generation.
Yeah. You know, I was going to say, because I'll come to you, Isi, but we need to go on a very short break. I was going to ask that what is the role of social media in dealing with heartbreak? You know, you mentioned something very profound. You said your feelings are not as strongly as when you were younger. You're not so emotionally. So I am thinking, is it that too much exposure to social media has made a lot of these people emotionless? Because you can see in her face, she's not angry. She's unperturbed. So is it that we are raising young people now that, I mean, in our days, man, boy, break your heart. Oh God, you go cry for 1 month, you see they cry. Then if you see something that just reminds you of the boy, the cry will resume. But now you don't see those kinds of emotions anymore. It's like everybody is transactional. It's like there's no real feeling of, feeling that emotions anymore. Is it social media? You know what? Let us go on a very short break. We'll be right back.
Hey, what's up, guys? You're welcome to another edition of Plus Event, and I remain your host, Ifeoluwa Oshukeye.
Your absence isn't an excuse anymore, as Plus Events is all you need, as we bring you the glitz, the glamour, and loads of fun.
Oh, definitely, right? No question. He's a living legend.
Oh, God forbid, Holy Ghost fire, I know.
I just want to be blown away. I want to be wild.
This is 11 years of doing it.
I'm sorry.
Now, if you just tuned in, it's our ladies' night out, and we're asking, if you had something to say to your younger self on heartbreak, what would that be? And what's your message to Gen Z when it comes to issues of emotions and heartbreak? How they express? And let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. Our phone line is now open. Biko, as always, turn off the volume of your television set when you're calling. Turn it off completely so we can hear you. The number to call is 07025007749. That's the number to call. So before I want to break, I asked about the role of social media in dealing with heartbreak. And I'd like to hear, EC, your thoughts. Because it seems like we are actually breeding young people that are emotionless. Like when I see a lot of young people, maybe they've seen too much, so they're very stern. You don't see that, a girl is a girly, that kind of, it's not there anymore. Everybody is just transactional. Oh yeah, what are you giving me for the love? If you're not giving me anything for that, I move. It's crazy.
Like you said, it's transactional. And because it's transactional, they tend to take it, they don't tend to take it to heart. Why? Because the values we have has changed. Uti, it has changed. Back then, you said something about, when you see a boy you like, your emotions are all over the place. You just want to, just looking at the boy alone, you're already melting, But today, when the girl is looking at the boy, he's looking at money. She's looking at money. She's looking at, what am I going to gain out of this relationship? Is he going to marry me? Is he going to give me money? How much will he give me? It's all about what I'm getting out of it. It's not about giving anymore. It's about getting. Now, if you recall a story about a girl who talked about the fact that she was in a relationship and she got her heart broken. And she said if she had dated someone, this happened a while back, if she had dated someone and the person was paying her monies for it, that she at least should have seen what she got out of it. So that is the mindset most of the girls are having today. And aside from that, it is not about love. It's about what am I getting out of it?
In return. Oge from Lokoja.
No emotion.
A woman? Oh, wow.
Hi, Oge.
Hi.
Hello.
Own experience about heartbreak was guys decided or excuse us because I was so confused.
Oh.
He wanted me to be very, out there. At the time, I know I was
Okay, it's so difficult to hear you. Sorry, please, if you can call back. The network is really muffled. Sorry, we can't make sense of what you're saying.
I have a comment.
Yes, go ahead, please.
This one is from Ufoma. Ufoma says, Uti, speaking as a guy, it's not every female you date as a man, right? There are lots of females, but very few worthy of being taken seriously. The girl in that video is for the streets.
Who?
Sadly, this is what most guys have to pick from. The ex-boyfriend is definitely Raz, like her, and belongs to her socio-economic class.
Yes, sir. That's
Oh,
deep.
wow.
Wait, with the bullets. Let's soak it in. Ufoma with the bullets. Shots fired.
Ufoma, direct.
Ufoma, you're not nice. Charles from Port Harcourt, let's hear what you have to say.
Hello, good evening, Iwa.
Hi, Charles.
Ipo have a nice topic here today.
Thank you.
Well, I don't know. The thing is that lately, everything has been transactional. I mean, nobody falls in love again. It's just how much you can bring, what you have. I mean, is it happening? I say, is the guy okay? What kind of car do you drive? Where does he live? That's the kind of things you get to see. People don't fall deeply anymore. Everybody's like, everybody don't wise, so nobody wants to, what did the guy bring it to the table? That's what's on the top of their mind. But those days, people used to fall in love deeply. As in, like real love, real one. You get to write letter, love letter, and those kind of things. I still remember those days. But unfortunately, you don't see those kind of things anymore. The kind of girls you have these days are just very far from those ones. It's really very unfortunate.
Thank you so much, Charles.
Social media has brought matter because you see all these things. You see everything now is open to. Like social media has changed the definition for everything. So people think that it's okay. So I mean, everybody does it. Celebrities do it. When they're heartbroken, they write songs. Then they get on social media.
I was just going to say that they're learning so much from no disrespect to the celebrities, but a lot of people are learning so much. So like you rightly says, like my 5 minutes of fame on social media, just put it out there. Trend for a bit, let it be in the public eye. But it's very unfortunate that we have lost what is important. Relationships. What you can actually build from. And then even if those relationships don't work, what you can learn from that relationship so it doesn't repeat itself in another relationship. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody is more inclined to, from day one, you already know that this is not likely to work. So how do I do it so that I am not the only one that feels the pain when anything happens?
Sometimes heartbreak. If you have like 1 billion naira, you'll be using the money to clean the tears. I'm telling you.
So let me take this comment.
You see your comment.
This is from Musa in Jos, and he says, one terrible thing is lots of us are blundering through life. We have no sense of rationality and consciousness. The truth is, if you love yourself enough and find joy within you, whoever comes into your life comes to experience joy. And when he or she leaves, you lose nothing other than just a physical being, which can be easily replaced. It's high time we start teaching each other about self-love, self-esteem, self-awareness, and consciousness. Interesting.
I think Oge is back. Let me take Oge, then I'll come back to Isi. Oge, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Aha, Clara now. Thank you for calling. Let's hear what you have to say.
Okay, so my own experience with heartbreak was, the guy's own excuse or conflict at the time was because I was so much of a good girl. So he wanted me to dress in a certain way. He wanted me to be very, following the shows that we had there, climb stage with him and all of that. And I'm like, for goodness sake, you're not married, so why would I have to flaunt myself around you? He wanted me to dress in a certain way, just play and all of that, And he broke up with me. And people were like asking, what happened? I couldn't say anything meaningful. And up to date, sometimes I begin to ask myself, maybe I should have, gone the extra mile to, try to please. But how many are going to be doing that for? So, and I've got my habit. Today I met a pastor, even a Catholic girl, So at the end of the day, God just knows that this is my girl just fit into a pastor's house and all of that. But I really love the guy. But it didn't work.
But we're happy it did not work. I'm happy for her that it did not work because I cannot deal with somebody that wants me to change. Thank you, Oge, for calling.
Yeah.
I can't deal with somebody that wants me to
because imagine that she had to do all of those things and this guy still
breaks your heart.
It will even be more painful,
We see your comment.
Okay, my comment is from Ade, and he says, good evening, ladies. The lady must be a cheater or caught cheating by her boyfriend. She has lost her value at all levels because no man would friend her after the social media post. She's missing the third leg between men before going to her boyfriend's father. Regards.
So I think I'll just pick up on the last thing that Noma said, and the comment as well that Musa did make. It's important to be self-aware.
Yes.
It's important to be able to exert a measure of control over yourself, because the truth is, you would never react to this degree.
I think we have Akadimo. Hi, AK.
Hello, ladies.
Hello.
I think I keep it today because I made popcorn for this show today. So I want to align somehow with Uti and then Norma on the fact that people process pain differently, and then you can't give what you don't have. You know, for me, this stretches back to what kind of families are these people from. And I think a viewer that sent in a message saying, you can't give if they don't have, you know. And the best thing you can hurt him is by doing what you know will get to him. So for me, this topic just speaks to societal values. And this is what our society is made of, unfortunately. So it goes way beyond even the girl herself. The father of the boy, you can even tell, see the father of the boy that we're talking about. So you can tell from where these things and people are coming from. So having them to process their pain in a different way is a different conversation, because they will always process it different from you and I, because we're also from a different breed. So people can only do what they can.
Absolutely.
So I think
so we have some tubes. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Let me read these first. So Nena says, I agree with Omalicha. She chose, that's Noma. She chose to process her pain and anger in an irrational manner. I empathize with her. She must have come from a very broken background, resulting to her poor choices. The first poor choice in this story is to accept a man that treated her so badly that led to this second really bad choice. That led to this second really bad choice. Her roots need fixing. Same with most mentally wrecked folks. So I think AK just touched on it. So I was coming from the point of being self-aware and knowing how to process your emotions. But secondly, the father that slept with the girl.
Let's go.
You don't want to go there.
Nathan from Abuja. That one.
No, because AK was talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway,
let me take Nathan.
I did ask that question, and you said, let's not talk about the father.
You don't want to go there.
I said, we no go there.
No. So it wasn't even about. So because
Nathan, are you there?
Yes, Nathan is here. Yes.
All right, go ahead,
please. Good evening. Everybody's talking. Okay, so I think the first, can you hear me?
Go ahead, please. We can hear you live.
Okay, yeah. So I think the first mistake everybody's making here is that we are judging this young lady by the same standards that we have been brought up. So I'm looking at the studio. I'm looking at 4 beautiful ladies. You guys probably look like, I know you are not silver spoon ladies, but 4 lovely, successful ladies. And then you are judging this young lady by the same standards that you would judge yourself. Not let me not use the word judging, but you are assessing her by the same standards that you would assess yourself. So one of the first things you should know is that the first caller was very right. She's street and she's down street. She is not your style. She is not within your class. So I'm seeing 4 goddesses, and that's not the way you should go. So you're angry with her, but I'm angry with you, because she also has her street girls that are going to sit down and advise her and tell her, do go sleep with the papa. If I find a brother, find a friend. Look, the standards by which that girl is running, you have no idea. You will be baffled. She will take you to the street. She'll put you in the gutter. Like one of my bosses told me, Nathan, if you think that you can see a girl on the road, bring her into your house and clean her up. While Nathan, she will take you to the street. So that's the first mistake you are making. That is why I decided to call, because I was even upset with you guys. I mean, look at 4 wonderful ladies. You guys look like you came out of the sea like Mami Water Baba. And you can't assess her by your standard.
I get
she
you,
can bring your 4. She can bring 20 girls that will have the same conversation on TV with you, and they will tell you don't know what you are talking about.
Yeah,
because we go find your uncles, we go sleep with your own family.
True.
They are streets.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's it.
Thank you for your contribution. It makes absolute sense. It makes absolute
Nathan's sentiments, but I would like to just address something very quickly for Nathan. We are not judging anybody. We're just having this conversation because we are trying to see what are the lessons we can draw from this. Now, somebody might see us out there and think that, that these people look gorgeous, this and that. Some of the things that you see were as a result of decisions, deliberate decisions to become who you are today.
That's why I talked about responsibility.
So at some point, there are so many people I know who came from the streets. But at some point, they decided that, you know what?
That's what Isi had said.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm
agreeing with you.
To what Isi said. So there's a time where you decide that I want to be
Well, you see,
above.
it's difficult.
I know it's difficult.
It's difficult,
right?
because, you see, we are shaped by a lot of things unconsciously.
Absolutely.
Even for the ones that they were raised in the street, they didn't do all this street madness. Something can in the future just trigger it, and all the street will just come out. Even though they were nice, so also. You know, so I'm trying to say that, is it possible that, yes, I agree with Nathan, it seems like we're being, based on our own upbringing and all of that, because there are some things that I would never do, no matter what. I'll come and go and look for your papa, and you know, it doesn't make any sense to me. But maybe that is her own interpretation of revenge, you know.
But no, so I mean, Nathan spoke well, but I think that he also, in hearing maybe some of the things that we said, maybe not heard some of the things that we did say, because we did say that clearly she wasn't parented. Clearly, nobody gave her values. Nobody gave her morals. That's, I guess, our own non-street way of calling her street.
Value.
I don't know.
Exactly. See, you are speaking too much English. You are just if you are just going to say Raz,
like I think so Ufoma said Raz, Raz, right? So, in as much as let's leave the tush aside and just look at it generally, right? There are certain things that you look at and you know that is wrong from the onset.
So wait, but let me come to Isi, because you're the ones harping on these moral values. So do you think, so because when I hear this narrative that, we've lost our moral values, I'm saying that we did not lose it. It was never there. It's just that a lot of things were not available to expose how deeply degraded our morals were. Do you understand? So when we say we've lost our values, I don't get. Was it ever there? I'm asking.
It was there.
Okay.
It's now for you to decide whether you will take it or you leave it. It's a thing of choice. Choice is everything to me. It's what you decide to do.
You know why I'm asking this question? A lot of people do a lot of things, but they do it in secrecy. What social media has just done is has given a platform. Because you know, some things you will see on social media, you will say, how? You understand? Because in your wildest dream, you would never have thought that thing would ever have happened, right? So those things used to happen, but there was no social media to expose it.
Even if it had happened, you wouldn't be so proud enough to say it with such effrontery that it's okay, and you're saying it with such gusto. Come on. It is totally wrong on all levels.
Someone has said they speak too much English.
There was a time when somebody would, even if things were going wrong or going bad, but somebody would say, is this not this person's daughter? What are you doing here? Or you go home, or you know.
But in a similar vein, what you just said, a video surfaced of a girl that gave a guy a blowjob in a club. I don't know if people saw that video. You know, I've been seeing videos. I don't share, but I see. So this girl comes out to apologize on social media to her parents. Do you understand? To say she was sorry that happened.
What was she doing when she did it?
No, that's not the question.
At least she don't know where her parents are.
Why did
she don't know where her parents
are? Because it came out on social media.
No, does she not know where her parents are?
Okay.
Was she high?
That's what thing. You see, everybody thinks that if it doesn't come out on social media, it cannot make sense.
If it's not on social media,
that's
it's not
the
real. It
narrative
didn't happen.
that is being posed to us now. But I'm saying that is a wrong narrative. There are some things that are still left to be private. There's some things that even if you hear, but let it not be that you are the one that voiced
it. So quickly, counsel to Gen Z.
Let me look for trouble.
Quickly.
We talked about, what was her name? Tega?
Yeah.
Big Brother. That she was married. And these things, people are watching them. Young, impressionable people are watching them.
And they're being
informed. And it's entertainment. They don't have anything on one side or the other to say, you know what, guys, don't do this. You don't have parents who are parenting. All these things, it all comes together and culminates in a video as you have just seen. Because it's the same, if you call it street, if you call it Raz, it's the same people that are watching these shows. So everybody we're dropping the ball somewhere and we're picking it up in the wrong place. And then we come out and we say, oh, that's what it is. We have a very real problem. The question I always ask myself today is, in future, when this generation become leaders, where are we going to be?
Uti, that's a topic for another day. There will be war. Eke says, there are silver spoon born people that will still sleep with people's fathers to get at them.
Absolutely.
So it's not about being born on the streets. Do you know funny thing? Some people on the streets, they have much more decorum and values than some. So it's just who the
person and how they've been raised.
And their choices.
I think we've run out of time.
Really? Already?
We've run out of time. I thought we would have time, but we don't have time. But ladies, we had a fantastic conversation. Before we go, let me quickly share something. I just saw a report that United Kingdom changes travel rules for fully vaccinated travelers from Nigeria. This is good news. It says from Monday 11th of October, fully vaccinated travelers from Nigeria will be able to come to England without needing to provide a pre-departure test, undertake an 8-day test or self-isolation for 10 days. Although we'll still need to book and pay for the day 2 test.
Where is this report from?
Is the British High Commission?
Is it gov.uk?
Yes, British High Commission.
When I see it on gov.uk,
okay, but if it's correct, if it is good news, if it's correct, it's good news for all of us. All right, so thank you, Isi, Ofodile, Namaifanga, and Uti Elu. Sadly, we didn't have time. We thought we had time for this topic, but we always never have time. All right, so before we go, I want Gen Z. Please follow us on Instagram. It's at PlusTvAfrica. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and more importantly, we're planning a giveaway to say thank you to you for believing in the Ways brand. I have some wigs to give away from next week, so just look out. Follow us now. It's at PlusTvAfrica. Like, share, invite your family and friends. Now, if you missed today's quote, here it is again. Sometimes a little heartbreak is a lesson, and the best thing to do is just learn the lesson. It's as simple as that. Thank you to everyone that called, the ones that tried to call that we couldn't take your calls, all the people that sent in their messages on Tubes and WhatsApp. Thank you so much. You are the ones that keep us going, so thank you. All right, see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.